What tak? Clear? Is it clear?
Clear.
Clear.
Okay, good. Okay, before we start our lecture today, so I would like to remind everybody to mark your attendance through Putra Blast. Okay, don't forget to mark your attendance through Putra Blast. Sebab kalau nak suruh saya nanti, saya memang biasa saya jarang tanda. Okay, mark your own attendance through Putra Blast, ya.
Last week punya lab, saya terlupa nak mark attendance.
Nasib lah. Nasib lah so kalau tak ada tu, tak ada lah. Okay, so try to remind yourself to mark your attendance. Nanti kalau ada isu nanti saya nantilah kalau tu saya rajin saya tanda, tapi saya tak berapa rajin lah. Okay, baik, insyaAllah. Okay, so this week we are going, okay, so by the way, I owe you the recording for the previous lecture. Okay, insyaAllah on the way. Okay, on the way. Nah, edit sikit. InsyaAllah I will upload. Okay. Okay, so this is, we continue from last week. Okay, so we stop here, right? Last week, right? Betul tak? Ke salah? We stop here last week? I thought we stopped here last week. This one done. This one done, right? Done or not yet? This one.
Yes.
Yes, done.
Okay, this one done. This one done. But we not yet proceed with representation during the lab session. So I thought this one also done. Okay, so this one, right? This slide, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
okay, by the way, just to remind everybody, the group assignment or individual assignment, please do not use my email, my UPM email to share your folder. Kalau nampak saya tak approve tu means that something wrong with your sharing. Okay, so those who shared with my UPM mail, I just ignore. Okay, please check the email that you use to share your folder with me. Okay, so make sure you use my Gmail, not my UPM email, because my my Dropbox link to my Gmail, not my UPM mail. Okay. Okay, so characteristic. So last week we covered on the example of journal in HRD. So these are the example, example of journals that you may access to reach to multiple multiple articles related to HRD area. So we have HRDI, Human Resource Development International. We have HRDQ, we have Journal of Organizational Behavior, and then we have lot more. Okay, we have journal on OD, we have journal on performance. Okay, so you may refer, because sometimes the journal too does not necessarily refer to one area only. It cross area. Okay, but the most famous infamous article journals in HRD, so these are among those. Okay. Okay, so characteristics of scholarly journals. Okay, so scholarly journal means that academic journal. Okay, so it published or sponsored by scholarly society, so a professional association or university department. Okay, so for example, mana saya nak tunjuk? Human Resource Development, this one. Okay. Mana saya punya ni? Saya punya web. This one, Tyler and Francis. Kejap, hold on. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this one is the example of the article or journal that been sponsored by AHRD Academy. Okay, Academy of Human Resource Development. Okay, so the example of scholarly article that been sponsored by scholarly society lah. HRD ni one of the international society for HRD. Okay, if you are academician, academics, so mostly you will be familiar with this society, with this association. Okay, and then just to let you know, okay, this year UPM also will be organizing one conference. Okay, our department lah basically will be organizing one conference on HRD. Okay, kalau you all ada terdengar atau ternampak. So that one link to this association. Okay. This is the example. Okay, so kalau kita tengok, it reduce amount of advertising compared to magazine and newspaper. If you see the scholarly journals, you rarely found any advertisement on the journal. Okay, mostly they are in plain form. Okay, white and black. Okay, and then it includes peer review articles. Okay, so kalau if let's say you heard the peer review article. So peer review article ni it refers to it has been reviewed by a selected group of scholars and researchers in the same field of study. So that's why the name is peer review. Means that it has been blindly reviewed. After you submit your articles to that particular journal to be published, so the articles ni went through the process through the process of blind review. Okay, blind review, saya makan buta. Maksudnya, that means that the reviewer do not know who are you, so they review your articles mostly twice. Okay, and then only after they qualify or approve your submission, then you can and then with some improvement, then you can publish your article through that journal. Okay, clear the process of peer review ni, peer review article. Okay, maksudnya it's not easy. Maksudnya it's not like you submit an article to be published in newspaper. Okay, sometimes when you submit the article through newspaper, the editor just edit in terms of sentences, the formatting and so on. But this one, there are reviewers that will check in terms of the content, the validity, the reliability of your articles and so on. Okay, it's quite strict lah to submit the articles in journal. Okay. Okay, and then articles are written in a language of the discipline. Okay, and then the author assumes the reader has some background knowledge of the discipline. Okay, so the language of the discipline is sometimes it referring to some words, some jargon that mostly familiar in one area but not in another area. Okay, kalau you are dalam bidang OD, organizational development, so there are certain terms that only OD people know. Okay, and then if you are a trainee person, then only the trainee people know. Okay, so there are words, there are certain words. Dia bukanlah ada another language. Okay, Spanish, bukan. It's referring to the terms that been used in the area. Okay, so that's why you need. That's why in last week discussion, I asked you to identify your area of research so that you can start looking for the most regular keywords that been used in the area. Okay, sebab the keywords yang you all identify ni will help you to determine the most accurate resources for your to be your reference while doing your research. Okay, dia akan membantu you all untuk dapatkan the best reference for your research. Okay. Please let me know if you do not understand. If I'm too fast, then let me know. Okay, and then so that's why the author assume the reader has some background knowledge on the discipline. So that's why if you read certain articles, then you find that you found an unfamiliar words. Okay, so then you may try to check, because sometimes those who already in the area, they already know what is the definition of the words. Okay, and then. Okay, so this one characteristic of peer review article. Okay, so the author's name. This is the general general characteristic. Okay, so the first, if you look at the article, the first that may appear, not the first lah, but for sure it will be there, is the author's name. Okay, the author's name always present. Okay, kalau you all tengok artikel tu mesti ada nama artikel, nama author. Okay, just to inform you, when doing your individual assignment of reviewing the article, make sure you search the articles through a well-known journal. Okay, cari artikel dekat jurnal yang well-known. Contoh yang macam saya tunjuk tadi. Okay, it's at least Scopus or impact factor. So I will show you on how to search either it is Scopus or not. Okay, I will show you later on. Okay, so the author's name should be present in the article. Next one, the author's credentials are stated. Credentials means that the detail, either the affiliation, the email, okay, is stated clearly in the article. And then the title reflects the content of the article. Okay, the stated title tu, it will reflect the whole content of the article. Okay. And then okay, so basically the title it is not in dalam bentuk yang biasa dalam magazine tu, it is more on attracting audience. No. Okay, sebab dalam bentuk biasanya mostly the scholarly articles ni, it is in plain form, dalam bentuk yang agak boring lah basically, but it clearly represent the whole content of the article. Okay, and then you can see the abstract or summary of precede the article. Sorry, an abstract or summary precede the article. So you can see the title of the articles, okay, and then the name of the author, okay, and then you can see the abstract. So abstract ni is actually the summary of the article. Okay, so abstract ni mostly comprised of siapa tu nak bercakap, nak gantikan saya bercakap ke? Okay, so mostly the abstract ni comprised of the summary of background of study. Tak best ni bila this is my first day at office, so dia macam still my tempo to use my computer. Okay, so first under the abstract ni, it has the background of study. Okay, background of study ni just in one sentence. Okay, kalau you all write your thesis, for background of study you need 5 pages for example, but you just need to summary. For abstract ni only 1 sentence. Okay, and then the second one, it consists of statement of problem, also in 1 sentence. Okay, and then next one you have objective of the study. Objective ni referring to the main objective. For those who do the quantitative, so it refers to the main objective. For those who do the quali, it refers to the main research question. Okay, main research question, the main. Okay, next one, you have method. The method, and then significance of study, and conclusion. This one is finding a conclusion. Lastly, recommendation. This is mostly the abstract lah. What the abstract consists of mostly. Okay. The next one, content is based on original research or the work of authorities in the field, not personal opinion. Okay, so in terms of content of the article, it based on the original research lah, but mostly nanti kita akan tengok. Okay, the arrangement of the content of the research. Okay, but mostly it will follow this arrangement for the whole content. Okay. Okay, and then the source of information used by the author are cited in the references. Apa tak nampak dah. Footnotes or bibliographies. So this one is referring to the format of the journal. Sometimes the journal require footnotes, sometimes not. Okay, and then the references style, it also referring it also depends on the journal. Okay, sometimes they use Harvard, sometimes they use APA. Okay, it refers to the journal. Okay, and then scholarly articles from scientific journal usually includes the following. Okay, so this is the body of the body or the content of the article. So we have the introduction or literature review. Okay, so also referring to the background of study. Okay, and then theory or background information. Okay, if you have, you need to, this one a compulsory. Any research in social science, mostly they have theory. Okay, that's why later on you need to have skill on looking for the right theory for your research. Okay, and then you need to have a statement of subject discussed, means referring to your population or your sample. Okay, and then methods used. Okay, so method, what types of paradigm, research design that you use. Atika Ira ni daripada tadi dia tak dapat masuk ni. Okay, next one, results of the study. Okay, after method comes your finding of the study. And then supporting diagrams or illustration if you need any. Okay, and then discussion. The last one, discussion. And then sometimes the article they add recommendation. Okay, discussion and recommendation for future research and so on. Okay, so this is the main content. So why I introduce you to this one? Okay, why? Kenapa saya introducekan the article ni? By the way, is it all of you recognize this body or this structure of article previously? Tahu tak yang sebenarnya artikel tu ada consist of this structure?
Tahu.
Tahu. Okay. So why do I need to to share with all of you again? Why? Anybody?
Untuk senang cari artikel.
Untuk senang cari artikel, no. Untuk senang to help you in looking for the right article is referring to the keywords. But this one, why do I share about the body of the article to all of you? Why? Kenapa? Because to help you, to assist you in looking for the right point faster. Okay, so sometimes no need for you to read the whole article to get the point. Okay, you just directly go to the specific heading. Okay, but for novice researcher like all of you, okay, my recommendation is you read from the very beginning dulu. So then you realize the structure, and then later on, once you become familiar, okay, you can just direct your reading towards specific heading or specific subtopic to look to search or to find the information that you need. For example, if you need the method, if you want to come up with the method that been used by previous researcher, then you just proceed to the method or the abstract. Okay, and then if you want to look at for the theory, then you just direct to the theory section. No need for you to read the whole article. right? To help you, to assist you in doing your literature review faster. Okay, so that's why it is good for you to have this this structure in mind. Okay. Next one. Okay, characteristic of trade publication. Okay, so for example, the trade publication ni, for example, those engineers, okay, and then HR professionals, so they have their own publication. So if you see, they are glossy appearance with advertisements relating to a particular industry. They use glossy paper, okay, because somehow trade ni it start to attract audience. That's why they use quality paper. Okay, and then they have the advertisement on the on the publication. Okay, but the advertisement is related to the industry. Okay, if let's say it is in industry in engineering, then it is related to engineering. If let's say it is in architecture, then it is related to architecture. Okay, and then articles are written by industry experts and professional staff writer. Okay, so it's similar to academic or scholarly article is being written by those experts juga, but being peer reviewed. But this one not necessarily, they do not went through the peer review process because it has been written by the expert in the area. Then the editor just edit in terms of the sentence, itu sahaja, sentence structure, format and so on. Itu sahaja. But the content, no, they do not go through the a blind review process. Okay, and then articles are meant to be read by workers in the industry. So the target is the workers within the industry. Okay, and then articles report on news and trends relevant to the industry. Okay, so any new machines, any new production, any new outputs, any new workflow. Okay, so any new that is related to the industry. Okay, and then articles usually do not include a bibliography, means that they do not necessarily attach you with the references because it is basically based on the experience of the expert. Okay, and then example of trade publication include advertising age. You can just click to the link, so it will direct you to the example. Advertising age, HRM Asia, okay, graphic arts, this one for architecture lah. Okay, and then management today. So this is the example. Okay. Next one, characteristic of news or general interest magazine. So this one macam hero remaja. Ni for example lah, Dewi Remaja. Okay. So it is usually published by commercial enterprise or individuals, occasionally by professional organizations. Okay, and then the purpose is to provide information to a broad audience of concerned citizens, not just to scholars. Okay, so the audience is broad. Okay, not specifically to one target group or profession. Okay, and then the language is geared to any educated audience. A specialized vocabulary is not necessarily. So this one basically it focus on states. Okay, dia lebih broad lah. Okay, that's why in terms of the sentences that they use is more general. Okay, that can be understood by all people with different education background. Okay, and then articles are written by a member of the editorial staff, a scholar, or a freelance writer. Okay, if you see the articles in newspaper or magazine, sometimes the author do not necessarily from the editorial staff. Okay, sometimes it comes from the freelance writer. Okay, and then authors sometimes cite sources but usually do not. Similar to trade publication, they also do not attach you with the sources. Rarely found lah, mostly. Okay, and then most have an attractive appearance with illustrations and photograph. Sebab apa? Sebab the main interest is to attract the crowd, okay, to generate income. So that's why dia it becomes more attractive. For the academic journal, mostly they do not they not really attracting crowd, but they just attract people that on that in related area only. Kadang-kadang kalau kita nak maintain our expertise in the area, that's why we subscribe. So the the cost of subscription tu kena bayar lah. But mostly kalau the university bayar, then no need for the for the scholar to personally subscribe to the journal. Okay. And then usually have some advertisements. Okay. And then often have a political slant. Okay. And then, for example, we have National Geographic, okay, Time, US News and World Report, Newsweek. Itu example. Yang ni yang popular. Oh, salah. Yang ni yang popular ni referring to hero remaja tadi lah. Okay, and then characteristics of popular magazine articles are seldom signed. Sometimes they do not have the author. They do not state the author pun. Okay, and then sources are rarely cited. Information can be second or third hand. Original source may not even be known. That's why when you do your article, when you do your research, okay, we are not recommending you to use a source from popular magazine or newspaper because sometimes the references are unknown. Okay, we do not have a valid references for any statement mentioned in the article. Okay, articles are usually short with a little depth. Okay, if you look at the article within the newspaper, it is short, okay, but not really in depth. Okay, just in general sahaja. Okay, and then often published on slip paper, are attractive with a lot of pictures and graphics and are full of advertisement. Okay. And then published to entertain the reader, sell products, or to promote a viewpoint. Okay, and then for example, we have Ebony, we have Glamour, we have Parents, we have Reader's Digest, sorry. Okay, so these are the example. Clear? The differences between few different sources lah, not all, but at least you have the idea on few references that are available. Okay. So what is the purpose of literature review? What is the main purpose of doing the literature review? Tadi I just introduced you with the sources that are available, but why do we need to do the literature review in research? Why? Any idea? Why do we need to read? Why?
Maybe clarify some problems related to the research.
That one tadi siapa? Who Ji-Yuan? Oh, okay. Very good, Ji-Yuan. Okay, yes, to clarify certain things related to research. Very good. Okay, we need to check. Okay, we need to do some background checking on the area. Okay, for example, if you already pick the topic and then you think that the topic is really interesting, then in your mind at the first place you think that maybe people from previously not yet do the research, do similar research, but you need to go to the literature first to see either your idea is correct. Okay, is there any research that are similar that has been conducted earlier? You all kena check that one. Okay, so another purpose of doing literature review include to identify theories and factual information related to the research topic. So for example, after you identify your DV, your dependent variable or your focus of the study, now you need to look at the theory that could explain the phenomena, okay, the DV. Okay, because indirectly after you figure out the theory, you can identify the variable. For those who do the quantitative research, after you figure out your DV, then you search for theory, because through theories, it will help you to identify the independent variable that may affect your DV. Similar to the qualitative also. Okay, for those who interested to do the qualitative, after you figure out your main area, main focus, then you try to go to theory to check how does the theory explain the phenomenon. Is there still gaps and so on. Okay, and then to figure out the factual information. Is there any facts related to the area that you should know before you proceed with your study? At least you have some brief idea. What is the definition of your DV? What is the definition of your phenomena? Is it tally with whatever you have in mind? Okay, so this you need to check. Okay, next one, clarifies the problem, focus and justification for the study. Clarifies the problem ni because after you have the area, then you need to justify why you need to proceed with this area. What is the gap? What are the gaps exist? But bila kita nak proceed dengan research, we need to have strong justification. Why do we need to research if there is no problem? So we need to find the problem, not create the problem. Do not create the problem. Find the problem to justify your argument. Okay, to justify whatever option that you pick. Okay, kena find the related literature. Focus and justification for the study and helps develop research questions. Okay, so the literature review ni will help you to develop your research question or research objective. Okay, or research statement. Okay, next one, identifies what has been studied or needs to be investigated further. So this one example of one of the example of your statement of problem. Okay, to come up with your statement of problem. Because last time I already mentioned the word, right? Statement of problem. Saya pernah sebutkan perkataan tu. Statement of problem. Background of study, statement of problem. Okay, so statement of problem ni, it is a statement that that connects you with the question. Okay, first you provide your background of study. Background ni it comprised of setting of your research. For example, you want to study the turnover rate among manufacturing employees. Then you need to provide the background. The background probably related to what is the significant contributions of manufacturing industry towards Malaysia economy. For example, that is the background because we want to highlight the specific area of manufacturing. Okay, the contributions to the economy, you highlight that. And then under the background, under the statement of problem, then you mention the issue of turnover rate. Okay, turnover rate among manufacturing, the turnover rate among employees in manufacturing, manufacturing organization are high. So this will affect the production. Okay, the GDP, for example, gross production, GDP, gross domestic production, for example, for Malaysia, then later on it will affect the Malaysia economy. So then it comes the statement of problem. You can see the problem from the contribution just now, the setting. Okay, and then it comes your statement of problem. Okay, and then okay, so identify what has been studied. So related to turnover just now. Okay, after you do your literature review, then you should figure out what are the variables. So what are the areas that been studied before? Okay, if let's say you want to do your research in manufacturing, then are there any research previously been conducted in manufacturing? Okay, in general, internationally, how many? Locally in Malaysia, how many? Or if you want to focus in Selangor, how many that has been conducted in Selangor? Or if you want to conduct your study in Johor, so how many that has been highlighted on the manufacturing organization in Johor? So then you can address your gaps there. Okay. Next one. Identify main methods and research technique. Okay, so sama juga after you do your literature review, then you figure out past study, okay, what types of design or paradigm that they use, okay, to conduct their study. Okay, then you make comparison. If let's say most study been using quantitative, then for the purpose of your study, you think that it should be better for you to explore further in detail, then you may propose your qualitative research. Okay, you may use it as your gap because past study mostly been used mostly use quantitative, then it lack of detail. So that's why future study need to be conducted by using qualitative design to focus detail on the turnover. Macam tu cara dia. Okay, next one. Provide a context for your own research. The context ni, this one related to background of your study that I have just explained. Okay, then provide a background to and offer a rationale for further research. This one pun quite similar lah, context, background. Okay. Any questions so far? No. Okay, so the importance of literature review. Okay, so it will check has the work already been done. Sebab apa? Sebab kita tak nak, as much as possible, we do not want to have similar or exactly similar research with past study. Dia tak nak. If you do not do your literature review comprehensively, it is possible later on after you complete your study, you found that there are articles that or research that been conducted exactly the same as yours. Because as researcher, when we conduct research, we want to at least come up with new finding that not yet been discovered previously. Okay, kita kalau boleh kita tak nak replicate. We do not want to replicate. We want to come up with new finding that not been that not been found by previous scholar. Okay, dia akan membuatkan kita expert in the area. For example, my research previously when I did my PhD, okay, in 2016, I did my PhD in 2016. Completed in 2016. On that year, after I graduated, even after I graduated, I confirm there is no research, similar research on the area that been conducted at the same year, similar to mine. Confirm, because I do my comprehensive literature review. I did my comprehensive literature review on the area, then I confirm that there is no past study on the area. Tak ada. Okay. So in Malaysia at that time, only my research is the first. And even abroad, even international pun, that one is the first. So kita confirm, kita confident, we are confident to say that because we do a very comprehensive literature review. Okay, we refer to thousands of articles. Okay, to come up with that conclusion that this is the first. Okay. So kita tak boleh claim kalau kita the first kalau kita tak betul-betul confident. Okay, that's why you need to have your own comprehensive literature review. Okay, then you can identify who are the expert in the field. Okay, after you read through the articles related to your area, and then you can figure out how who are the authors that regularly you found during your literature review. So you akan tahulah those are expert. Kalau you all jumpa nama yang sama, repeating authors, even though they are from a different journal, okay, so means that he or she the expert in the area. So probably if you have question related to the area, then you may connect to him or her. Okay. And then what are the main theoretical perspective? Okay. So similar, okay, when you go through the literature, the article related to the area, then you figure out, you can see how many theories that been used in the area. So what are the theories? How many? Satu. Then what are the theories that mostly been used in the area? So this one you can use to support your argument, either when you want to use certain theory, or you can also develop your statement of problem based on the theory. For example, if you use theory of planned behavior, even though you can say that because past study on behavioral research, okay, they use theory of planned behavior. Then you may say that you may use this the statement to support the use of similar theory in your research, because you said that you use the theory because past study also use the theory. Itu satu. Okay, to support what your argument in your research. But if let's say you use social exchange theory, in which the social exchange theory, for example, this is the example, social exchange theory not really been used in career development, for example. So previous study on career development, they use theory of planned behavior. So then you may say that for your study, you want to use social exchange theory because there is a possibility that the theory is also applicable to the area. So itu pun new finding, new argument actually. Okay. Okay, next one. What are the common research methods in the topic? Okay, so tadi saya pun dah explain this one. What are the main problems in researching the topic? Okay, for example, if you look at the topic, if your proposed topic is new, okay, so there might be a possibility that you couldn't find a lot of articles similar to what I faced in 2016. Susah sangat. Okay, because it is new, then the possibility to find the articles is very difficult lah. Susah, memang tinggi untuk dapatkan artikel tu susah. Okay, but but the advantage is you propose something new lah. Okay, itu dia punya advantage. But when you do your literature review, then you can figure out what are the challenges. What are the challenges? What are the the difficult thing that you face? Okay. And then next one, are there any major controversies in the topic area? So for example, this is the example. One of the controversial topic in Malaysia is gender. Okay, gender. The definition of gender. This one is example of controversial topic because Malaysia is the majority of Malaysian citizens are Muslim. Just to let you know, Malaysia is not a Muslim country. You kena faham. It's just majority of the citizens are Muslim. Okay, so because that one, and then so then the definition of women and men. This one I try to relate you with the issue of one person that I'm sure that all of you are familiar with. Okay, the issue of definition of male and female. Because the international definition of male and female is not based on your private organ, private part tu. Okay, either it is ovary or penis. No, it is not based on that. It just been used in medical only. But in general, the definition of gender ni been determined by the intention, your intention to be what, male or female. This is not my definition. This is the definition that been used worldwide. So that's why Malaysia has difficulties to trace that people, trace that person. Okay, so it is also related to the foreign ministry punya policy between Malaysia and Thailand. Itu for example. Itu another lain lah. But itu adalah one of the controversial topic in Malaysia. Okay, if you go through it is interesting, but you need to be extra careful when you do research in related to gender. You need to be extra careful. Okay, for those who interested, then previously I also interested in the area, but seems not been given the chance, so I proceed to the next area lah, something like that. Tapi kalau siapa yang berminat, good, but you need to be very careful with that one because it links to our social contract, our policy, our government policy, and so on. Okay. In China, I'm not sure. What about China? Hu Jiwan? Is it LGBT acceptable in China?
I think yes.
Okay, so it's their country, is his country punya policy. But in Malaysia, we still do not accept the LGBT ujian. It is not a norm in Malaysia. Okay.
Okay.
Even though we also fighting for human rights, but there are specific human rights because that is related to Malaysia social contract. Okay. Okay, and then is the topic open to hypothesis testing? So this one might lead you either to qualitative or quantitative. Either the selected topic ni will lead you to hypothesis testing or not. Okay, and then next one is the topic a trivial one. trivial ni maybe it's not researchable pun. It is a famous one, but not necessarily researchable. Okay. Okay, so this is example example of why you need literature review. Okay, so implication of incomplete literature review. As what I said, as a researcher, as much as possible, at the end of our research, we want to come up with something new. Even though probably at your level, you think that doctor, I don't really care about something new. What I care the most is my result. Okay, I want to get A. At the end of semester, I want to get A. That's all. Doesn't matter I bring something new or not. It's okay for me. Okay, but as a researcher, you need to have that. You need to have that spirit lah. Okay, you want to propose something new, not to change the world, but just a tiny thing. But you propose something new that you can remember, and then you think that it is the best thing probably in your life, right? Okay, so this is the one of the situation in which this guy, okay, this young man, they do not did his comprehensive literature review, and then at the end of the day, he found he figured out that someone already did the same thing what he does, the same thing. So kita rasa tak seronok bila kita tahu yang benda yang kita nak buat tu dah ada orang buat. It does not mean that they the previous researcher or he copy paste, no. But sometimes the variable that we select, okay, the theory that we use, the idea that we try to argue, okay, when they are exactly the same with previous researcher, then we do not find interest anymore in our research. But research ni dia ada soul. Bila you all betul-betul buat, sebenarnya we academician, we can know is there any soul or not in your writing. Soul. Okay, bukan Korea okay, so this is again the literature review process. Okay, just now the cycle of doing research, read, right? Okay, so this one, the literature review process. The reviewing literature itself, it has its own process. Okay, so it starts with research question and objective. So probably this week, we are going to proceed further, and during our lab session, we are going to proceed further with the title, the area, and then the objective probably, and then do your RQ. Inshallah, the discussion will be focusing on this one, other than the assignment that I give to you last week. Okay, but I will focus on this one first. Okay. Then after you identify your research question and objective, okay, ni yang paling penting. Identify your research focus dulu. Okay, and then you define the parameters, which is the purpose and review question. So you need to set the limit from the very beginning, because if you do not have that limit, you will be lost in Amazon jungle. Seriously. That's why saya awal-awal lagi saya suruh you all cari dulu tajuk, or at least the focus that you want to highlight during your research. Sebab saya tak nak you all sesat. Okay, when you start searching through Google Scholar and so on, you will be exposed to a very broad information. Okay, bila macam seolah-olah you just masuk dalam hutan yang terlalu besar. Nanti you all takkan susah nak cuba cari jalan keluar. So that's why you need to have your scope. You need to set your scope from very beginning. Be clear on what you want to do. Okay, so that you don't get lost. Okay, so then generate search term. Okay, after you define your parameter, you identify your DB at least. Okay, and then you generate search term. Search term ni keywords. Okay, keywords. Very important. Okay, I forgot tadi, the structure of article, it has the title, it has actually the information of the article in terms of volume, issue, year of publication, and so on. Then it has the title, it has the author's name, it has the abstract, and then it has the keywords. Okay, so the keywords that been used, for example, you found this first article. So you need to take note on the keywords that being used in the article, because it will help you to find another article that might be related to whatever you want to do. Keywords. some researcher or some scholars, they cannot find the correct or the most resourceful article because they do not found the most correct keyword. You all kena pandai bermain dengan keyword. Okay, sama macam you all nak, when you want to try to stop your alah, lupa dah. Nak stop you all punya boyfriend ke, girlfriend ke. So you will change your keywords, right? So it applies here. The skills are there, but now you need to use in the right situation lah. Tu tak right, bukan right situation tu. Stalking is legally wrong, illegal sekarang. Okay, stalking tu dah salah. Okay, itu just the example, but you need to have that skill to keep changing your keywords supaya it will help you to it will lead you to the right source. Okay, to the correct source. Okay, and then so that's why you need to have library keywords actually, keywords library. You kumpulkan the keywords tu. Okay, because sometimes the term tu probably for example philanthropic behavior, for example philanthropic, because what I did last time is on philanthropic behavior. So for example philanthropic behavior in HRD, there are at that time 2016, there are no keywords, there are not many articles. Okay, and then after I go look through the literature, another term that being used to represent philanthropic behavior are donations and volunteerism. So it will leads me to another keyword. Then after I go through, for example, I want to focus on Islamic perspective. Okay, the term that been used, for example, zakat. The term zakat is also part of donation. Okay, and then apa lagi? Menghambakan diri. The keywords tu according to the area. Okay, donations, volunteerism, apa lagi? Giving back to society. The keywords, Okay, and then next one, then you conduct your search. Okay, so conduct your search ni means that you need to identify the searching engine. So the searching engine. So for all of you, so probably you can use either Google Scholar. This one is the most easiest one lah. But I also want to recommend you to use library website, because in the library website there are a lot of resources. Oh, tadi saya terlupa macam on how you can check on the article. Ni saya hold kat sini dulu conduct search. How to check on the article quality. Okay, go to the library website. Share tadi. Okay. Hold on, Hold on, saya nak share tadi? Lupa dah. Kurang. Nampak Saya punya share screen nampak kan? Google ni. Can you see?
Nampak. Nampak doktor.
Okay, go to the UPM library. Ni besar kat sini pula. Okay, so click on the easy access. Easy access. Okay, and then log in. Okay, if you have your device with you, then you may try the hands-on with me. Okay, and then you look for JCR, Journal Citation Report. This one, JCR, Journal Citation Reports. Okay, you look for this one, and then you also can access JSTOR and so on here. There are a lot of options here. Do all of you know about this? Facilities that UPM provide to all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Ya, ada yes tu bagus. Okay, so use this one, Journal Citation Reports. Okay, so then you may search for any keywords. Lagi. Okay, for example, turnover. Oh, tadi human resource development This one, human resource development quarterly. So for your article, make sure the article that you choose appear in this JCR. Okay, the article that you use, make sure the journal that been published by the article ni appeared in JCR. Okay. So this is the article's information related to article lah. Okay, it has the journal impact factor 3.64, very high for social science. Terus ni this is the information regarding the article lah, the citation and so on. So in terms of ranking, okay, for industrial relation, it falls under industrial relations and labor. Okay, in which it is the number is 8/30. Quite good, really good lah, bukan quite, really good. The psychology, it's also if let's say it is under psychology and then it is for under 22nd place over 83. Very good journal. Okay.
Me, daughter.
Yes.
We just can see the load page.
Oh, you cannot see. Oh, you tak nampak Awak tak nampak? Why do you tell me earlier? Hold on. Okay, so this is apa tak? Can you see now?
Yes.
Nampak.
Okay, so this is after you cite the article, then you pick the article from here. Okay, then it will lead you to this website. Okay, so the category ni, so this is the category for the journal lah. Okay, it can be categorized by cross field. Okay, if let's say it's categorized under industrial relations and labor, psychology, applied psychology and management. Okay, you can see this is the impact factor lah. Impact factor is somehow impact factor ni linked to how many people that cite the article from the journal. Okay, and then the frequency lah, somehow it linked to the frequency. Okay, and then ni total citation. Okay, and then tadi yang saya cakap tadi ni. Okay, if let's say it is under industrial relation and labor category, so number 8. Okay, so if let's say applied psychology, then 22nd. Okay, then in terms of quartile, it is Q1, but in 2020 it falls Q2, under Q2. Q1 ni the best journal lah for the time being. Q2 tu quarter second. Okay. So under management 97. Okay. Ini dia punya details, the quality of the journal. So make sure when you search for the article, make sure your articles falls under either journals available under JCR, Journal Citation Report. Okay, use this database. Okay. Mana gambar you tadi? Alamak. Tak tahu pula gambar you ni. Alah. Macam mana saya buat tadi keluar sekarang tak keluar. Sampai. Tak keluar juga, tak apalah. Okay, so next one, obtain literature. Okay, after you conduct search, then you obtain your literature. Okay, then under the obtain literature ni, then you should also have your saya share ke tak screen? Sabar je. Sabar je lah. Aku dah tak nampak. Okay, so under okay, so next one, after you obtain your literature, this one you also need to have a strategy on how you can arrange your article, your your literature. After you have the list of article, you need to have strategy on how it can help you to come up with your own analysis. So that's why what I propose is you come up with your matrix. Okay, the Excel matrix. Okay, you try to come up with the Excel matrix because it will help you to come up with the analysis. Okay, to come up to help you in making decision, either to come up with your statement of problem, background of study, to find your theory, to find your method, and so on. Okay, and then after that you evaluate. So itulah pasal dia. After you obtain your literature, you come up with a specific strategy to facilitate your analysis. Then you come up with your evaluation, and then you record, and then you generate search term. Okay, and then start drafting review, revise parameter, and so on. So it is in continuous step. Okay, the step is continuous until you come up with critical review of the literature. Meaning that when you write your literature review, you shouldn't just cite or just copy paste plainly from the main article. It should be from your own analysis of the review, of the literature review. You should come up with that one. For example, you want to come up with the definition of certain variables. Okay, then you review different sources that somehow propose different definition. Okay, and then based on the definition, you come up with comparison. So based on comparison, so which definition that you think mostly suit with whatever you have in your mind. Itu sepatutnya literature review. You shouldn't just copy and paste. Okay, the literature review, it should be a result of your literature review analysis. Okay. Okay, so this one is steps in conducting literature review tadi. Okay, so saya start dengan identify keywords or descriptions. So saya start kat sini After you identify your topic, then you identify your keywords. Okay, and then create a search query. Okay, and then identify relevant literature sources, search the literature and collect relevant materials, critically read and analyze the literature, synthesize the literature, organize the literature, write the literature review. Okay. Okay, so first step, identify keywords. Tadi dah share dah pun sebab ni. So boleh lajulah. So identify key concepts in your title and central research question. First, to me, start with your DV. After you identify your DV, then explore other terms that been used to represent your DV or your main or your focal area. Okay, and then next one, from your research question and working title, compile a list of keywords or descriptors related to your topic. This one also I already described earlier. When you read your article, pay attention to the keywords stated in the article. Keywords. So then you can develop your own keyword bank. Okay. And then next one, for example, so this is the example. What effect does parental involvement have on the dropout rate of bilingual middle school students? So based on the title, so these are the keywords. Parental involvement, dropout rate, bilingual middle school students. So probably these are the keywords that you can use to search for the next article. Okay. Okay, so another thing is synonym. The synonym. Okay, so for example, synonym for parental involvement are parent participation, mother involvement, father involvement, father engagement, mother engagement. You need to look at the synonym. Because sometimes authors use different terms but still represent the same thing. Macam saya cakap tadi lah, the term that I use is philanthropic behavior. Sometimes the scholar use volunteerism. Sometimes they use donations. Sometimes they use giving back to society. Okay, so you need to identify those keywords. Saya tak pandai semua keywords. It depends on you. You as the researcher, you should know your own area. Okay. And then synonyms for bilingual include English as a second language, English language learners. Two example. Okay, do another example for bilingual. Okay, this one clear for keyword searching for keywords, clear. Okay, next one, create the search query. Okay, so using the example from step 1. Okay, what effect does parental involvement have on the dropout rate of bilingual middle school students? Okay, so you would create a search query that looks like this. So you can use this, apa nama? Apa nama ni? Alahai. Dia punya simbol ni. Apa dah simbol? Apa nama simbol tu? What's the name of the symbol? Anybody can recall? This one. Anybody can help me? Cool lah. Okay, so you in your searching ni, okay, you click you click advanced for search. If you use the database, then sometimes they provide you with the advanced. So the advanced ni you use this this command. Okay, parental involvement or mother involvement or father involvement or parent participation. Okay. So this one you just you insert at the same time. So any articles that related or that use that keywords, it will appear in your searching result. Okay, so it will help you faster lah, instead of you find keyword one by one. Find the articles based on one by one keywords. So this one will help you faster. Okay, and then you can also add and dropout or drop out. Sebab kadang-kadang ejaan dia tu sekali. Kadang-kadang it come with two words. Okay, one word, two words. Okay, and bilingual or English language learner or English as a second language and middle school student or junior high school student. So you come up with this command in your advanced searching option. Okay, and then next one, Boolean operator. Okay, so define the relationship between words or groups of words. Okay, and then these commands to the database expand or limit your search by combining terms using the words and or not. Okay, so they use Boolean operators ni referring to and or not. So what you want to include and or. But you don't want to be included, not. You include not. So what? Okay. So this one you explore sendiri nanti. Saya bagi ni je. So example this one, to search for what effect does alcohol have on college students' self-esteem. So you just type the words alcohol, college students, self-esteem. Okay, so any will narrow the search by obtaining only those items with both concept 1 and concept 2. So for example, college students and self-esteem. So they will search, it will search for you any article that has these keywords in their articles. Okay, and then or broadens the search by obtaining all items with either concept 1 or concept 2. Okay, so either one. This one any meaning that in one article, it must have both words, both keywords. Okay, but only either one. Sometimes the keyword only consists of one concept, for example, self-esteem, sometimes self-confidence, sometimes both. Macam tu. Okay, and then not obtains item with concept 1 but eliminate those with concept 2. For example, alcohol, not illegal drug. So you want just to look for alcohol because alcohol is not necessarily the illegal drug with the right amount, right? Okay, clear? Clear this one? Yeah. Next one, truncation. Okay, so through this process, you find variation of keywords by adding a truncation symbol to the root. So these are the example of truncation keywords. Okay, so for example, to retrieve all variations of the root psychology, okay, to example, to find, you guna ni je, psycholog. Okay, then they use this symbol, as truncation. To find the psychological, psychology. They use psycholog. Okay, you just use this one with the star ni. So ni example of truncation symbol, but it depends on the database. You need to check lah, specific on the database. Okay, and then next one, online help. Okay, in which instruction for using electronic database are built into the system. Okay, so memang biasanya memang ada. Okay, help tu. So look for online help buttons or links such as advanced search and search tips. Consult online help to learn on how to enter search, what truncation symbol to use, how to display results, and how to print or download records. Okay, so it is okay for you to use the online help. Okay, clear? So far clear? Database saya dah share apa semua, ni skill je. Okay, next one, identify relevant sources, literature review sources. This one pun dah share earlier. So the best place to begin your search is with the database and index in your academic area. Okay, so start with our library. Okay, we have HRD and then the journal that you are familiar with, or you may start randomly through the Google Scholar, up to you. Okay, and then to find resources in your specific academic discipline, do a keyword search in your university libraries online catalog for your discipline. Example, psychology, sociology. Okay, because HRD ni sometimes it falls under sociology, sometimes psychology. Okay, anthropology pun possible. Okay, and then followed by the keyword, by the word handbook, encyclopedia, bibliography, thesaurus, dictionary, abstract measures, and so on. Okay, and then consult with librarians at your university library or with faculty in your graduate program for resources that they turn to when beginning a new research project. But I'm sure most of you ni rarely go to the library. How many of you still go to the library? Even before the COVID-19 pandemic. How many of you that still go to the library search for books? At least. How many of you? I bet my fingers lah. Memang tak ada. Right? Most of you too much relying on Google. To me, yes, I rely on Google, but Google book. Not Google, not general article. I also use Google. It's okay for me. It's okay to use Google. But you know the most valid and reliable source in Google. Because sometimes the book that are available in library also available in Google. To me, until now, I prefer to read book. Pasal COVID-19 pun book. Okay, anything, I still use book. It's okay, Google book, but at least book. Okay. Because book ni, because whatever it is, we as human pun, when you want to know something, when you want to know anything, go to valid source or reliable source. Okay. Okay, and then next one, determine which academic disciplines are conducting research in your topic. For example, as what I know earlier, HRD ni sometimes it falls under psychology. For example, philanthropic behavior. Even though I want to conduct research related to philanthropic behavior in HRD, but sometimes I go to volunteerism area as well. I go to psychology. I go to humanitarian area. So anything you need, you can you have to cross check the area. Okay. And because different area will use different keywords. Okay. And then you should go cross disciplines. For example, for research question, how does language use shape the identity of language minority students? So you must decide what academic disciplines might conduct research on this topic. For example, anthropology. Anthropology ni pasal apa Anthropology. Anybody know what is anthropology? Dah kena start faham dah anthropology, ontology.
Taburan penduduk.
Taburan penduduk. More kepada culture and so on. Okay, culture, norm, anthropology. Okay, and then psychology. So probably it also can fall under psychology. Anthropology ni because the language ni represent the norm and culture. Okay, and then psychology ni it reflects the identity development. Okay, and then education because it covers students. Okay, and then communication because it covers the language. Okay, and sociology because language ni being used in socializing. Okay, when people want to interact with each other, so itu boleh dikatakan under sociology lah, social. Okay. And then clear so far this one is step 3 clear Clear. Okay, step 4, search the literature and collect relevant materials. Okay, search the database, index books and other sources listed in the step 3. Okay, and then examine your result. So other materials you are finding relevant. Relevant it means that are they related to whatever you want to do? Because as much as possible, I don't want you to keep changing. I don't want you to keep changing your topic or your variables. Because sometimes when you read, okay, you will be attracting to new concept. There are tendency that you will keep attracting to new concept. Oh, this one also interesting, then I want to change. Okay, then you read another. Oh, this one also interesting, I want to change. You need to fix your mind. Jangan cepat tergugat. Okay, if you rasa cepat tergugat tu, please set back before you lost in Amazon. Okay, ingat saya punya nasihat. Kalau dah rasa selalu nak tukar tu, sit back. Okay, reflect balik. Sebab sebelum you all tersesat. Because I have experience dealing with one PhD student. Dia memang tingkat ayah lah, just like father to me. The age is around 60 over. Okay, he came to me last 3 years. He said that he already lost. He opened the door too wide, he cannot close the door. Because in research, you cannot cover too many things. You cannot do that. It should be very specific. Okay, he opened the door very wide, so he do not know how to close. It's really hard to close bila you all dah buka terlalu luas. Susah. Because research should be very specific. So now focus on what you want to do. Okay, do not thinking on changing the world. Just contribute a tiny new knowledge. Okay. And then you do you see other keywords you could add or subtract from your search? If you still can see the new one, so still means that your literature review not yet comprehensive. Kalau comprehensive tu means that you keep repeating the same keywords, then you already reach your saturation. Okay, and then do particular authors seem to be conducting research on this topic? Okay, do particular journals seem to be publishing research in this area? Okay, and then use this information to help you focus your research. Okay, biasanya you akan tahu the most regular authors that write in the related to the area, and then the most regular journal that you refer to. You all akan jumpa pattern tu. Okay. Okay, when searching the internet for literature, some information may not pass the standard of peer review. Example, journal editors or book publishers. So then you need to check lah. So to me, I love to use Springerling, okay, Willy, buku-buku yang macam tu. Okay. Creswell 2008 elaborated this point by stating material obtained from websites not in national referred journals need to be carefully screened to determine the qualifications of the author, the quality of the writing, and the scope and rigor of data collection and analysis. Sebab tu I do not advise you to just use any article. Make sure you check. Okay, if you see the article with spelling errors and so on, please change the article. Biasanya a good article, they will check, because we will send the article to proofreader before we publish our article. We send to proofread, to someone that can check our format, sentence structure, grammar, and so on. Okay, so the quality is confirmed. Okay. Okay, so in terms of evaluating the website, okay, so since anyone can post information on the internet without any oversight or editing or fact checking, so it is important that you evaluate any information that you find on the internet to determine its credibility and authority before using it in your research. Okay, because as you know, in internet, anybody can post anything in their website, blog, and so on. So you need in their Facebook and so on. So be extra careful. Make sure they are from credible source. Okay, look at the URL to see if it is a personal website, an educational site, a commercial site, or a non-profit organizational site. So you check, you need to do your self-checking. Look for authorship of the site. So if there is an about us link somewhere on the page and when the page was last updated. Kalau boleh, make sure you found the website that regularly update. Okay, and then does the site try to persuade or to sell something, or is it simply providing information? So be extra careful with the website that try to promote something because they have their own bias. Okay, prone towards certain group and so on. Okay, and then is there any bias that you can detect? Okay, try to avoid. And then can you validate the information through another source? Meaning that validate ni, if you find the information in one website, so is it, if you check into another website, is it consistent? Itu validate. Maksudnya maklumat yang the fact that were provided to you is consistent. Okay. And then guide on evaluating web page ni you can use, for example, the Berkeley Library, evaluating sources of information. Okay, you all tengok lagi satu ni. Apa tu yang keep promoting in radio? Apa nama website tu yang benar? Apa? Ya Allah. Ada keep promote apa tu, the DJs keep promoting in radio. Yang benar sahaja ke apa tu? I forgot that one. The website in which you can check the information to determine the credibility. Ada kan? The website. Is there anybody can recall?
Yang sebenarnya .my.
Sebenarnya.my. Tu. Okay, but I never go through the website lah. Tengok macam mana. Tapi it seems promoting quite good lah tu tengok. Okay. Once you have reviewed the list of references located in your database search, the next step is to determine which books and articles are most relevant to your study and collect each primary source. Okay, and then primary source document contain the original work of researchers and author. So primary work ni mostly the main lah, the first source. Okay, and then should not rely solely on secondary sources because they do not always provide reliable information. Secondary probably books lah. Books, they already manipulate the sources or information from primary source. Secondary source interpret, analyze or summarize primary sources. They include such published works as newspapers and encyclopedias, handbooks, conference proceeding and so on. Okay, then your review should be based on primary sources whenever possible. Kalau boleh, go through the journal. As what I've said earlier, because journals need keep updating, then you will be keep updated with the latest information regarding the area. Okay. And then two types of literature you should collect for your review are the theoretical literature and the research literature. Okay, collecting literature is an ongoing process and you need some mechanism for classifying it. Mechanism means that any tools that can help you to facilitate or to help you in organizing your materials that you have. Okay, and then it is an ongoing process. Why? Because you will keep updating your literature review, chapter 1, 2, and 3 until you complete your finding. Even after you complete your finding pun, it is possible for you to keep updating your chapter 1, 1 and 2 lah particularly. Okay, that's why it is a continuous process. Walaupun you mention that the literature review should start week 13 and onwards and stop probably on weeks 14, but it is a continuous process until you submit your dissertation, until you submit your final year project. Okay, and then be selective and choose only those most relevant to your study. Okay, always keep in mind your study purpose. So you need to keep reminding, keep reflecting the main purpose of your study so that you don't lost in Amazon. Okay, as you gather and sort document, ask yourself, how does this relate to my problem? Okay, and then one strategy is to categorize each book or article as either very important, moderately important, or somewhat important, depending on your style. Okay, depending on your organizing style. So probably you may create the folder first, very important, second, moderately important, somewhat important, and then within that folder you have your own way of organizing the article or the references to help you. Okay, so keep track of pertinent documents. So these are the organizing strategy. So macam mana nak susun pun saya ajar. Okay, so prepare the bibliographic citation for each bibliographic citation. So list the bibliographic information on index cards and keep them arranged alphabetically by the last name of the author. So if you use the Microsoft Word that the references in Microsoft Word that I shared with all of you just now, so then you probably can use that formatting in saving in naming your article. Okay, to me what I did last time, because to help me find the article that I save faster, I make sure that I rename my article similar to the format that I use in my writing. If in my article I use APA, then I will rename the folder by using APA style. Itu cara saja. Itu salah satu sebab senang. So we know the author. And then maintain an ongoing record of the bibliographic data in your computer. This one kena istiqomah, consistent. It's very difficult at the first place, but later on it helps you a lot. No need for you to find the article through the journal or through the searching engine online again. No need, because it is already in your library. You just need to find the right keywords to look for the where you place them in your device. Okay, so this one I thought you need to consider lah to use the cloud drive to save your article, because there will be a lot of possibilities that your computer will hang, okay, system error and so on. So this one you need to think, kena consider. Okay, because during my time, just the age like all of you, I really love to explore the most suitable system that can help me, that can help my work, fasten my work. Dulu saya sangat suka test pakai EndNote to help me, and then Mendeley, other than the other option than the Microsoft Word that I've shared with you. Mendeley, we have Mendeley, EndNote. Those are the system, the referencing system that can help researcher. But after I did my own review and testing for the system, the most reliable one for me is Microsoft Word. Mendeley, it has last time, 4 years back, 5 years back, it has a strong possibility to be corrupted, particularly at the time when you want to submit your draft. Selalu macam tu. Okay, you nak submit esok, hari ni dia corrupt. And then all the sources lost. Semua hilang. It's just like you have been brainwashed. Okay, so be extra careful. You all ada masa, then you can study, because I'm sure after the 4 years ni, the past 4 years ni, there are a lot of new system that have been introduced. So you all boleh tengok, try and error which one the best for you. Okay, try the best option. Okay, and then use reference management software. So ni for example, saya guna last time, EndNote, ProCite, Connotia, and Zotero. EndNote ni saya pernah guna, ProCite pernah guna, Connotia no, and Zotero no. And I'm sure that there will be a lot more. Okay, try to explore. Enable you to create list of citations and they automatically convert them into the appropriate style format. And then we also have the Mendeley. Mendeley, Mendeley. I thought that one also available in UPM website. Can get free, I'm not sure free version or not, but I don't prefer to use that one lah, but you can try. So test dulu by your own. Okay. Okay, the newest release of Microsoft Word 2007 also, ni dah lama lah bukan 2007 dah lah 2000 berapa dah sekarang, 2020, right? Allows user to choose a citation style format such as APA. This one what I've shared lah. So decide on the specific bibliographic style you plan to use in your dissertation. So for our class, so we use APA, 7 APA style. Okay, and then reference management database such as RefWorks store your citation on their server and allow you to access your records from any computer that has access to the internet. Dia macam ada cloud drive jugalah. RefWorks ni similar to Mendeley. Okay, it's interesting to explore. Okay, so next one, develop literature review matrix which you identify the variables or key descriptors in your publication you consult. So this is the example yang saya propose lah pakai dia a little bit in traditional strategy, but it would be meaningful. Okay, I just want to train you. If you want to make decision later on, at least you come up with your analysis. So Excel metric ni actually part of tools that you can use for decision making purpose. Okay, so this metric provides a graphic portrayal of the variable or concept most frequently discussed in the literature. Okay, so not only does this process help you to keep track of your reading in the literature, it helps you initially select your variables and key concept you might wish to study. Okay, so it also is a good mechanism for developing your research instrument, and then it's also a good medium to provide justification for your statement of problem and so on. Okay, so this is the literature review matrix that I propose. Okay, so similar, saya tak masukkan lagi dalam Excel, dalam draft you all kan, I will share. Kalau you develop sendiri, this one develop sendiri, sorry, this one develop sendiri, develop by yourself, but you can use my format. Okay, use in Excel. Again, I want you to use Excel. I don't want you to use Word. Saya nak Excel juga. Okay, because Excel will provide you with sorting options. Sorting, you can sort. Okay, nanti saya tunjuk. Okay, so for example, literature review, these are the compulsory information that you need. Then you may add on according to your need. Okay, so author year, for example, author year. Okay, and then the title of the article, and then the source. Okay, and then research paradigm, quanti or quali, depending on the article. The research design, survey, is it correlational? Okay, is it apa lagi? Experimental. Okay, and then research objective, you mentioned the research objective, the main or specific, up to you. The theory that been used in the article, Okay, and then findings. So what are the main findings of the article that related to your study? And then implication. If you think that it is necessary, then you may insert. If not, then it's okay. And then perhaps the limitation. Limitation of each research are not the same, but probably you want to have the idea. If you want to state on limitation of the study, so what are the possibilities or the point that you want to include? And then the strength and limitation of the article. So up to you lah. This one note. Note anything lah. Okay, this is the relationship between DB and IV and DB. Up to you. Okay. Okay, so this one lah. Ni dah saya dah cerita dah ni. Okay, the body of the article. Okay. Yang this one, saya nak share this one. Yang ni tak ada dalam slide you all. Saya nak cari. Mana letak? Kurang lah. Berapa dah? 9.5. Okay. Kurang lah. Okay, saya tak adalah share this one sebab you all yang ni detail. Okay, so nak share this one. Okay, so this one, if let's say you arranging your literature review matrix, and then apa tu, if you use Excel, if you use Excel, then it apa tu, you can use home option to provide the menu bar below this option, and then text can be bolded, italicized, and or underlined. Maksudnya you all boleh color, even though you can also use word lah this one, and then you can use a color scheme to differentiate your any notes lah that you want to highlight. Okay, and then you can add sheet. Sheet 1 initially was alphabeticized by author as per APA style. Up to you. You can add more sheet. Kat sini kat bawah. And then clicking on red text makes all of the text visible in a cell. Okay, ini. And then the next entries below can be sort by publication year, type of study and so on. Ini sebenarnya function yang kita nak. Because sometimes when you want to highlight that there are limited study on quantitative research that been conducted earlier, then you can use all the information that you use here as your support to help you to arrange to get to the conclusion faster. So then you just sort how many quantitative research that been conducted earlier. Is it limited? Is it too many to justify the chosen design that you for your study? So sama juga on topic related to your rival. You can sort how many that been conducted within 2005 and 2021. Are there many or limited? So you can support your argument in your dissertation. Okay. This one option allow reviewers to insert or delete rows and so on. Inilah dia punya function ni. Okay. Ini yang saya nak highlight lah. Another one. Spelling. Add notes. Okay, track changes option. Track changes ni dalam Word pun ada. So this one you can sort. Yang ni sebenarnya function yang kita nak. Because in Words you cannot do this actually. Okay, you cannot do this faster lah. Okay, so sort ni yang kita nak. Okay, and then year, this one sorting by year of publication. If let's say you want to highlight the publication of specific research within 2005-2021, so then you can highlight on that period only. Okay, faster. Okay, and then function or option available under the find and select menu. Okay, and then this one in terms of design. Filtering criteria. You can also insert hyperlink. Okay, Itu sudah, itu je nak tunjuk kat ni. Okay. Dan okay, next one, bila you once you already have that system, so then you can come up with critical review. Okay, critically read and analyze the literature. Critically, after you have that tool, that it help you to critically review your literature. Critically come up with your own summary or idea after you did your literature review. Okay, so you read literature review, literature critically. Okay, then the tools, Excel metric tu will help you in critical idea ni. Okay, this involve questioning, speculating, evaluating, thinking through, and analyzing what you read. Okay, so you question, speculating, evaluate, thinking through, and analyzing whatever you read. What original insight can you gather about your topic that are not stated in any of the references? And then what important facts and opinions relate to your study based on the article? Okay, and are there important issues that not well addressed? This one will help you in determining your statement of problem. Okay, and then you must be able to evaluate and integrate the material that you read. So the tools yang the Excel sheet tu actually will help you integrate all the information that you read. Okay, so this one, noting and summarizing references. Do an in-depth reading of your very important publication first so you can understand them thoroughly. So try to sort. Bila you all dah jumpa references tu, sort. Most important, moderately important, and so on. So focus on the most important one first, so that you have better, a clear idea on your area. For every book or article you read, write a brief summary in your own words that illustrate the essential point. So you come up with your own summary with your own words to avoid plagiarism. Okay, be sure to accurately record the bibliographic reference exactly as it will appear in the final reference. So this one I advise you to practice from the very beginning. Okay, whatever source that you cite, that you refer to, try to directly write their references according to APA style. Okay, so that you don't forget after this. You don't forget. Kalau tak kita letak, kita rasa kita ingat. But don't overestimate our memory. Okay. Mana kita letak barang pun kita boleh lupa dalam masa 30 saat. So ini kan pula the document that you probably open in after 2 days. Okay. So develop a coding system so you can identify the types of materials contained on each summary sheet. Okay, so so coding system ni also may refer to your keywords lah, keywords, variable, key topics, or by the descriptors used in locating the references. As you are reading, be alert for quotation that might be useful in presenting your review. So what I did last time, whenever I found even though I want to focus another thing, but I found interesting quotation that closely related to my study, even though at that time it's not my interest, but I just copy and paste first and locate somewhere in my document, and then locate full citation so that I can refer to the article or the source again whenever I want to check on that information again, so that you all tak lost lah. Dia renyeh, but it will help you later on. Okay. Ni. If you find quotable material, be sure to copy it carefully with the quotation mark and include the page from which it was taken. If you use a direct quotation, make sure you locate the page number of the article. Page number. Okay? Senang nak cari. And then place your summaries in a computer file and then print it out, leaving white margin. Leaving white margin ni because you want to keep note. You want to locate note later on lah. This one a little bit on traditional way, but I'm sure that most of you won't print anymore. Okay, you all just guna words pun boleh. Okay, read through your summaries and look for important themes, big issues, commonalities, and differences. So these are the points that probably you want to consider when you want to analyze your literature review. Okay, critically analyze your literature review. Okay, you can see the pattern, the trend, the themes. So probably before 2005, the study mostly used quantitative, but 2005 onwards, okay, they use qualitative. So that you can see the trend in your analysis. Okay, and then okay, so use table to summarize literature. Okay, building table is an effective way to overview, organize, and summarize your literature. Okay, so build summary tables for table of definition and key terms and concept. Just to come up with the definition of your variable, then you make comparison. Okay, and then table of research methods. Okay, and then search results, table that summarize theories relevant to your study. So these are the example lah. This one the analysis ni just for the definition. The definition je. Okay, you want to come up with the analysis of the definition of one concept. Definition of child abuse over time from 1945 to 2012. Okay. This one a primary study characteristic which is method. So you want to come up with the trend of method that been used by previous research related to your topic. Okay, they use Pope use sample 164, Friday ni 98, Cherky ni 267. Sometimes when you come up with this analysis, it also can justify the selection of sample size for your study. For specific research, how many that they use in their study, so that you can use this one to justify the selection of your sample. Okay. Ni another example lah. Sikit sangat ni. Okay, so synthesize the literature. So synthesizing involve comparing, contrasting, and merging disparate pieces of information into one coherent whole that provide a new perspective. So in your writing, okay, in writing your dissertation or your literature review, either in chapter 1 or chapter 2, do not write in plain sentence. You try to write in a style in which you actually argue with someone else dalam bentuk writing, dalam bentuk argument, in argument style. So it's not in just like reading a book. It's very boring, right? So you buat dalam bentuk argument. So these people said like this. However, Michael said like this. So in conclusion, it should be like this. So it's in argument form, so that you can contrast, you can compare. Okay, so we can see that even though you are the sole writer of the book of the thesis, but we can see just like a lot of people are discussing in your dissertation through your writing style. Okay. And then a high quality literature review reflects careful analysis of all sources and a critical synthesis in which you show how previous studies and information are related to each other and to your study. Bila melalui comparing, contrasting ni, then we can see your level of integrating all the references. Okay, you connecting the dots. Okay, and then in a literature review, you are creating a unique new forest. Okay, which you will build by using the trees you found in the literature you read. The analogy is like that. Dia macam seolah-olah you membentuk satu hutan baru. Okay, you yang create hutan ni. Okay, in order to build this new whole, you should consider how the pieces relate to one another. Macam mana the trees connected to another with the animals inside it. So you are responsible to shape your forest. Okay. Ni synthesize. Tak payahlah detail sangat, nanti you all baca lah that one. Okay, and then organize the literature review, the literature. Okay, so select an organizational frame. So either it is chronological, thematic, general to specific. So up to you. When you write your paragraph ni, paragraph, in each paragraph, either you want to write it in chronological style, chronological probably from year to year lah. Okay. Or thematic. Thematic ni, it depends on themes that you want to highlight first. Okay, you integrate the literature and depends on your ability to synthesize information effectively. Okay, but theme is based on theme, the most important theme. second, come second, next, and so on. And then general to specific, the V or funnel approach. Up to you lah General to specific, start from very general. For example, you want when you want to describe your background of study, so probably you start with general one, then you go to specific. Okay, and then create a topic outline. So under each heading, determine the logical subheading. So you determine lah, but mostly for your thesis too, it's already predetermined. Okay, unless for chapter 2. The chapter 2 too, you can arrange accordingly. Okay, so next one, write the literature review and then pretend your literature review is a discussion. This is what I just tell you just now with a friend regarding what authors have written about your problem area. Just like you are discussing, okay, with other people inside your writing. Okay, basically your review is an informative story of what is known about your topic, a summary of the state of the art. Okay, and then you should write for an audience who is intelligent but not knowledgeable about your study. Maksudnya kita tahu audience kita tu pandai but not really know about our area. Okay, and then this means limiting as much as possible jargon and specialized nomenclature. Okay, jargon, if let's say if there is not too many people know, then should avoid. But if let's say you think that you want to introduce that jargon, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. It's a new finding as well. It's a new thing. Okay. Ini another way lah to review your literature technique. Okay. So the product of literature review. If let's say you are not doing research saja, but what I'm sharing with you, the purpose of literature review to support your study. But another output of a literature review is actually you can come up with critical review. Okay, critical review, literature review, mapping review or systematic map, meta-analysis. When you come up with comparison, then you come up with meta-analysis. And then mixed studies review or mixed method review, overview, qualitative systematic review, because qualitative ni possible, you just review the document. Okay, and then state of the art review, systematic review, systematic search and review, systematized review, umbrella review. There are a lot of outputs actually from the literature review. Probably it can be an article just to review, just the product of review. Okay. Then I thought that's all. Ngam-ngam lah cantik. Habis dah masa pun. Okay, so any question? Any questions so far? Before we stop? Ada. So I thought that that's all for today. So inshallah, let one we will meet each other tomorrow. Okay, so stay safe, guys. So assalamualaikum.
Salam, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,